And it's not like I have no say so. Like they just toss you away. And I thought corporate America was like this, not the government.
The latest move coming Saturday as Elon Musk sent out a message to all federal workers demanding they outline their weekly accomplishments by Monday night or face losing their jobs. Plenty of federal workers have already been shown the door. And in one of the most startling moves, late Friday night, Trump took aim at the Pentagon in an unprecedented upheaval of senior leadership. The President and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announcing the firing of 2 members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, including the chairman, General C.Q. Brown, and 4 other general officers, with the administration's ire over diversity efforts in the military by those leaders appearing to be at the center of it all.
Trump was right about everything. It just came in. Somebody said, I said, this was sent in by a fan. I said, I think we should make some of them, right? But we were pretty much. You want one?
I'll pass.
Are you allowed to take one? Because he'll consider it. I know him well. He's sort of a stiff. Yeah, Brian, you're not a stiff.
The move also comes as President Trump is taking aim at Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky, the administration holding talks with Russia without Ukraine at the table, baselessly calling Zelensky a dictator. But we begin this morning with the Friday night massacre at the Pentagon. It was a Friday night Pentagon Purge, a history-making gutting of general officers. President Trump ousting the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General C.Q. Brown, his principal military advisor, a fighter pilot with 130 combat hours. And Navy Admiral Lisa Franchetti, the first woman to serve on the Joint Chiefs of Staff, a cancer survivor who commanded Navy carrier strike groups and U.S. Naval Forces Korea. General James Slife, the Vice Chief of the Air Force, who worked in special operations and has 3,100 helicopter flight hours. And the top lawyers for the Army, Navy, and Air Force, all of them with decades of experience, and all of them spending their lives in service to this country.
What is up, guys? Tyson De La Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. We got a Pentagon shakeup over the weekend. They are making moves. Shout out to everybody watching. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump did a Pentagon purge with 5,400 citizen employees getting the boot. Trump administration Pentagon continues to drain the swamp, announcing plans to fire 5,400 civilian employees in a bold step to slash the bloat in the workforce 5 to 8%. Trump had stated in the past that these clowns were too busy with DEI hires, diversity, equity, inclusion, than prepping to win wars. The Pentagon has been pushing this woke BS for years. $162 million on DEI in 2023 alone per Government Accountability Office. Trump's purging these woke warriors from all parts of the government.
It's what I hear is that it's essentially he's trying to do to the government what he did at what we saw him do at Twitter when he just fired mass employees. I mean, the idea is that he believes that there are a lot of people in the federal workforce. Obviously, there's more than 2 million federal workers who aren't doing enough work. I've actually been told that in the first week of the Trump presidency, just days after Donald Trump was sworn in, Musk was going around, as were his top advisors, people working with DOGE, into different agencies and popping his head into their offices and saying, "What are you doing? Hi, I'm Elon Musk. What are you doing?"
What do you say you do around here?
Exactly. And now we're actually seeing that in practice, in writing.
The liberals are melting down over there, so they're like, oh no, prioritize the military? Come on. The Pentagon has 700,000 civilians, 5,400 canned last week, 8% cut coming because $50 billion got wasted on woke climate crap. This is what Pete Hegseth said.
To find the redundancies and identify the last vestiges of Biden priorities, the DEI, the woke, the climate change BS, that's not core to our mission, and we're going to get rid of it all. With DOGE, we're focusing as much as we can on headquarters and fat and redundancies and top-line stuff that allows us to reinvest elsewhere. We welcome DOGE, and finding those efficiencies is how we save taxpayer dollars.
Scott Jennings chimed in on this on CNN, schooling folks about this Pentagon Purge.
Yeah, I'll give you a good reason, because this person serves at the pleasure of the president. This is the principal military advisor to the president. And I don't, Van, necessarily think he had to have done anything wrong or had to have had a scandal or have any kind of mark against him at all. It's just that the president wants to have the most confidence in his principal military advisor. Obviously, he wants to pick somebody else. And there shouldn't be anything wrong with that, because under our Constitution, we have a civilian-led military, and the president is the commander-in-chief, and he should have the principal military advisor that he wants. I don't think there's anything wrong at all with General Brown. I think he has served this country honorably. I think he's a good man. And you might remember back in the first Trump term, he was promoted and nominated to be the head of the Air Force by Donald Trump. So obviously Trump has liked him in the past and thinks he's had an amazing career, and he even put out a positive statement about him tonight. But at the end of the day, this is a position that serves at the pleasure of the president. The president's Donald Trump, and he deserves to have the top advisors that he wants and that he has the most confidence in.
Elon Musk sent an email out to federal employees stating that they have to document 5 things that they did last week regarding or pertaining to their job. Or if you don't respond, you're getting fired. And the media has given pushback about this. They even addressed this with Miss Hubba at the White House.
People need to be accountable. You need to be able to answer the question. If you couldn't answer it yesterday, you have till today. But the reality is accountability is real. I can't not show up to work every day. I have to answer to the president. And by answering to the president, I answer to the American people. It's very simple. Would you want to pay somebody to do a job and they don't show up to work? I don't think so. I could name 5 things, 5 bullets, in about 5 minutes of me coming into the office every day. If you struggle to do that for a week, there's no excuse for that. Now, you can have an extra day to answer it, but you better be able to answer it.
Mr. President, can you clarify, hopefully once and for all, what your expectations are with this email to federal employees? What are you going to use that information for? And do you see it as voluntary, like OPM has said, or mandatory?
Yeah, well, it's somewhat voluntary, but it's also, if you don't answer, I guess you get fired. What it really is do people exist? We have this massive government with millions of people, and nobody knows who's working for the government, who's not. So what they're doing is they're sending out a letter to everybody, and they're saying, what were the things you did last week? I guess they ask for 5. And if people are working, it's easy. I could tell you 5 things I did last week. I could tell you 5 things I did 6 weeks ago, right? If they're there and they're working, they're able to say they did 5 things during work.
The legacy media has, of course, a different agenda. You see the same clickbait headlines that I do. Time after time, the media distorts good news stories or often just gets them flat wrong. In many cases, well, in most cases, they have an agenda. Other times, they are just lazy, as they often are, and they don't take time to actually understand the facts. First is DOGE. They're here, and we're welcoming them. In fact, right over there, about 20 minutes ago, I just met with them. And we're going to be incorporating into what we're doing at DOD, everything they're doing to find fraud, waste, and abuse, in the largest discretionary budget in the federal government. They're going to have broad access. Obviously, with all the safeguards on classification, they know that. Many of them are vets. They care just like we do. Probationary workforce. Now, this is part of something that was mandated by an executive order from the president. Remember, President Trump was elected. He has the prerogative to advance executive orders. Our job is to follow them, and we're doing that. This reevaluation of probationary employees is being done across government, not just at the Defense Department. But we believe in the goals of the program, and our leaders are carrying out that review carefully and swiftly. Now, bottom line, it is simply not in the public interest to retain individuals whose contributions are not mission critical, and to restore accountability within the federal workforce.
I think this is great. Having DOGE go in, audit everything, reevaluate everything. They're running it just like a business. This is how America should be ran, because we are in debt. The United States is in debt. And we have to figure out, just like Pete Hegseth said, where top performers lie, where underperformers are, and then trim the fat, because they're getting paid. And a lot of these people are getting paid to work at home. and maybe do nothing, right? So let me know what you think about all this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button, share, subscribe. And as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.